But because, listen to this, folks, this is the cream of the crop type of advice. This is the shit that you need to write down and make sure you understand it. I know the playbooks. I know the algorithm. I know the macros. I know what it's going to do. I know when it's likely to do it. But here's what happens sometimes. I almost said his name. A particular person says, well, you know what? We want to put a little bit more oomph in this move. And or it would be more advantageous for us if it went well beyond the scope of the average daily range that everybody would expect in the opposite direction. And that's manual intervention. So when manual intervention occurs, it's much like CPI or FOMC. Shit just comes out of nowhere. You can get wrecked by it. And sometimes it just keeps on going and going and going. And you can physically be harmed beyond repair in those types of moves if you're trading size. So it's like the roulette table at the casino. Everybody thinks, well, you know, you can go over there and you can bet on red or you can bet on black. All you got to do is pick red or black. Wrong. Wrong. Because there's a green. Green is the fuck you color. Okay. You might have odds that red is going to come up. You might have odds that black's going to come up. But that table in that casino is rigged. Just like the old riverboat casinos. Okay. A lot of people don't know this, but those riverboat casinos, their roulette tables, they discovered underneath the wooden roulette wheel, there was these little metal paddles. Okay. And the operator of the table would have a paddle for red, a paddle for green, and a paddle for black. Okay. And people get in there and they bet their favorite number, their birthday, the day they got married, the day they had their kid, you know, whatever it is, they think that there's something special about it. There's a red 17, there's a black 17, whatever it is. They don't give a fuck about the number. They can't control the number. The number is not ever going to be controlled. That never, ever happens. The color is it. What happens is they say, okay, no more bets. And he waves his hand out there. Why is he doing that? Because he needs time to get an assessment on where the money is mostly. Is it more on red, more on black? And if he can't decipher right away what it is, he's pushing the green paddle. What does that mean? Underneath the wooden wheel, underneath one, every single one of those little squares that's either colored 17 or 12 or whatever, it's red or black or green comes up. Okay. The casino's in business to take money in, but they have to pay out. But they have to do it on a ratio basis. So when the money is being brought in, there has to be the majority for them coming in and they pay out the minimum. Payout minimum, intake is larger. Over the course of a day, a month, a year, they profit and people still make money. So the theory is this. If you were going back in time and you were on this riverboat, you could sit there and watch the guy say, okay, no more bets. Look at the stacks of chips on what color. Fuck the numbers. The numbers are the red herring. That's the magician's misdirection. You watch the color. Wherever the bulk of that color is being bet on, that's the fucking color that's not coming up. Now, underneath the wheel, the paddles would come up with magnets. Inside that little white ball, that ball is a magnet. It's polarized. So if that ball is bouncing around like it does, it's only going to settle on a square that will allow it to fall in. Think about how magnets opposite attract, same repel. So if the operator doesn't want that ball to fall in a red, then it's going to be the same polarity as the ball. So when it falls in there, it'll fall and bounce out and then fall into the nearest black. Who gives a fuck what number it is? It's falling in black. So red loses. So the table collects the payout to them as income with all the bets on red, and black wins. Who gives a shit? The payout's larger for the table coming in on red than the payout on black. The black, yeah, we won. Everybody's like, fuck yeah, this guy's hot. I'm putting my money behind him. So now the table's going to watch everybody's bet based on this dude. And if he doesn't have enough time to assess how much money is in there, which is better, green's coming up. And they all lose. It's all rigged, folks. It's all rigged, okay? And this is the way it is. So those one-armed bandits, those slot machines, couldn't remember what they were a couple spaces back. I don't go to casinos, but they're the same way. They're only going to pay out once they take in so much money. That's it. That's why everybody goes around, they walk around the machines and they say, okay, I'm watching this person. He's been here for 4 hours. Okay, it ain't hit for a while. If they get up, I'm getting on that machine. Not because you are lucky. They know what? It's going to pay out. It's due to pay out. Now, take that same logic and apply it to time of day, day of week, report days, medium impact, high impact, liquidity. It all makes sense. There's controllers in everything that we do. You go to work, you got a boss. You're going to put your money in the marketplace? There's a boss. That boss has a job. Manipulate the money from your hands into theirs. Oh, now you're going back on saying the brokers are trading against the client. I'm not even talking about the broker. I'm talking about an entirely different entity way above them. That's that collective entity that is smart money. That's who's working in all these things. This opportunity, this whole facade, thinking that you have a free and random market when that is not the case at all. How the fuck can I do what I'm doing if it's random? How can it be that precise if it's random? If there's no algorithm, how can I display, teach, and repeat over and over and over again? Here's my challenge to the naysayers. I want you to outline a market like I did on Friday. One-sided, very specific level, and then record precision entries, mark up the annotations, everything, record it. I don't need you to do it live. Record it through TradingView, because I know it can't happen through Market Replay. And then you post that and say, this is how ICT is doing it. It's cherry picked. You can't, because if you're managing a 1 minute chart, how many 1 minute charts can you manage another 1 minute chart going the opposite direction when you're managing that 1 minute chart, annotating it, constantly moving everything? Look, man, that's some bullshit. Okay, that's some bullshit. And takeaway is this: it was already talked about hours before in the morning session. There's no way you can argue against it. And I can do it live in any setting. Hello. So there probably isn't going to ever be another mentor like me. I'm a little unstable and probably lunatic fringe in most of your minds, and that's fine. that gets me. It makes me a little more interesting than the average person. But I use that like a carnival barker, just like I use the demo baller. Oh, let's just see this clown. What the hell? This guy keeps calling it right. Yeah. Yep. And I'm hiding in plain sight. Who's going to take a demo baller serious? Nobody. But anybody that's ever came to my mentorship, they only saw demo trades. They only saw me executing just like this shit all the time. There was no any other imitation except for seeing what you've been watching me do. And now you're all going to get a taste of learning just how to do it for free and real time. It's exciting, isn't it? If you're not excited, if you're not all amped up about, broadening your understanding about price action, man, I don't know what to tell you, because it's going to be fun. It's going to be real fun. I'm trying to make sure I covered all of my bases here, and I think I have. So in 2023, outside of, I guess, the stuff I'm going to be droning on in the live streams, the invitation for you to be part of my personal life. A lot of you asked for me to do a little bit more of that. I guess I can, do a little bit more. I'm probably going to be recording a video today, putting it up there on YouTube just to show you the mobile command center, the ICT mobile command center. We have a Class A RV that you've probably heard me. Sometimes the audio doesn't sound great. You got to get yourself a new mic. You were listening to me in an RV. Okay, the acoustics in the RV is not the same as being in a room that has better acoustics. But I'm going to be traveling a lot this year, and I'm probably coming down to your neck of the woods. And I'd be interested to do like meet and greets, in different states and such. Um, I have to figure out how I'm going to do that because my wife and my two dogs will be with me. So I obviously you can't come on board with us because my dogs would probably want to chew your ass up. My wife probably wouldn't feel comfortable with that. But it's something I want to entertain. We want to see more of the country and get out there and use this thing. And the fact that I'll be doing a video or two a week from it will allow me to depreciate it also. So $300,000 gets wrote off over the course of 7 years. So that's how you do things. No lease required. But it's a mobile home basically. I mean, it's got 4 leather massaging heated recliners. It's got a fireplace, flat screen TVs, 1, 2, 3 of them, one on the outside, one in the living room area, and one in the master bedroom. It's got a crow's nest above the driver's area, and the dinette turns into a sleeping area. It's got a shower. It's got washer and dryer. It's really nice. It's really, really nice. And we went out with it a few times this year. And there's a couple states that I want to go to: Utah, I want to go to Wyoming, and I want to go to Montana. Those are some of the, and maybe some of those states you're not in or whatever. They're the main ones I want to go to. They're just beautiful out there. And Montana is another state that I'm thinking about getting property in. So there's a really, really bigger than the house I have now. Um, I'm really wanting to go see it. The seller is holding it, like he's not putting it on the market for me or anyone else to buy right now because he knows I'm planning a trip in springtime. But if I like it, you will see it. Trust me, you will see. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. 3 times actually bigger than this one here, and it's just beautiful. It's got a grotto and a huge, huge hardscaping, and just it's got tennis court, basketball court. It's got a go-kart track on it. It's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Big old view of just loveliness all around it, and that's one of the things I'm looking forward to in spring. So I'm not a person that likes to fly. I don't want to be in the air. So RV does it for us. It allows us to go around and travel, and the old fuddy duddy ICTs, motor scootering around in a Class A RV. So, but anyway, when I post that video, just know that it's not because I'm bragging. I have to make sure that everyone knows that it's anchored to the channel, and then the Digital Nomad will be a playlist that will allow me to legally depreciate the $300,000 motorhome. So that's how you do things through the scope of depreciation and paying for things. Basically, it's not, I didn't get it for free, obviously, but you pay for it and then you can write it off over the course of the years, and you make money, you just write that down. So it allows me to get better use of it instead of just buying it like anyone else. When you buy your car, you're done. But when I buy a car and I show it, and I own all my cars. Okay. Don't listen to these fucking people out there saying I lease my vehicles. I showed you lease vehicles, but I own all my cars. I own all of them. I have a car note with my son so he can get his credit, but we're about to pay that off. But you have to depreciate the vehicle then. And you get your accountant to help you with that shit. But you can make big purchases, but you have to have a real use for it. So if I just bought an RV and I don't use anything like the YouTube channel, that venue allows me to say, okay, well, I'm running a corporation through YouTube. I got ad revenue, sponsors all the time. And I could probably do about $30,000 a month just in sponsors, but I turn all of them down. I don't want to be that kind of YouTuber. So if you've received denials from me or ignoring your request, okay, it's not personal. I just don't want to do it because I don't want that kind of stigma attached to my YouTube channel. There's other people out there can do it. I'm sure I'll have students that'll be willing to do it for you, and they can make money like that too. And I'm encouraging all of you to do it and get good at what I'm teaching you. And there it is. And here's the thing, folks. You don't ever You don't ever need to show a live account. You don't. Because if you can sit down live and call the market before it happens, sitting on TradingView, doing it live, because I got here at 426,000 almost subscribers on YouTube. I've never advertised. I never ran ads. And I just simply recorded myself doing trades with logic that I taught. And there it is. So don't listen to anybody tell you that you have to do that. And if you're going to do signal services, you better damn well have a track record. That's absolutely guaranteed that you need to have that. But if you're going to run a service where you're going to call the market live, I don't call that signal service. Okay. But there's a lot of people out there. I have people in my own mentorship that are asking, is there students in their user group that are doing signal services because they want to do it, because they can't do it themselves. So think about it. There's always different walks of life. There's all different types of individuals that's in this industry, that some of them that just simply can't do it, no matter who trains them, how long they've been doing it, what works, what doesn't work. Some people simply won't do it, but they can't let go of it. So they want to be a part of it the only way they can, which is by hand holding with someone that can do it well. And listen, folks, 15, 16, $18,000 a month, ad revenue. I think anybody can live pretty comfortable in that. And you don't even need to do a live account ever. You're not obligated to do that, because if you're out there explaining what your opinion is on the marketplace and it unfolds just like you said, who's going to argue against that? People that are trying to sell something else. Fuck them. Okay. They're broke. They can't build their audience. And if you're wholesome and you're honest and you tell people exactly what's going to happen and it happens, your community will grow organically. And there's a lot of people that don't like me. And that's fine. I get it. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But you can't say my stuff don't work, because that's bullshit. Because it works. It works in my hands. It works in everybody else's hands that puts the work into it. And you're all encouraged to do the same thing. There's nothing, I'm not going to try to shoot you down, talk bad about you. There's a lot of people out there that are doing what I teach. I love it. I'm thankful that the Lord has allowed me to be impactful in that regard. I'm not running around saying, look at me, everybody's trying to be like me. They're all trying to do their own thing. And I was just the catalyst, the conduit to help them get there. They give me a high five. Thank you. Appreciate everything you've done. Run, run, man. I want to see you do it. That's the whole reason why I did this. Think about it. When I stepped out on baby piss, if you knew me back then, it was a social experiment. I wanted to see who could do it and what they're going to do with it. How they're going to make an impact in the world. To me, that's interesting. I mean, I have a very biased opinion about what it is I know and what I can do. But I also have limitations on what I'm allowed to do. And I'm not going to divulge any more than that. But if I can bring other people very, very close to what I can do, and I can live vicariously through them, that to me is like winning. Because unfortunately, I have handlers and I can't do certain things. So I have to do within the scope of what I'm allowed to do. This is it. But I'm going to push that boundary as far as I can in 2023. And I'm going to try to bring as many of you up as I can. And the only thing I ask you to do is very, very diligently work within the scope of where I'm placing your attention, and only there. And don't do anything more. Don't try to stretch beyond that because you have extra time or you feel like it's not enough. Don't. Don't dilute your focus from whatever it is I'm trying to bring your attention to. If you went and just looked at yesterday's price action and you tried to look for things that are taught on my YouTube channel outside the scope of what I was doing, you would be very frustrated, which is the reason why I walked everybody through the top-down approach from the daily 4-hour, 60-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute chart. I gave you the very levels that I'm going to have on my chart and what I'm looking at. Those levels are going to be influential in what price is going to do. And what's it going to do? It's going to gyrate around inside of Thursday's range. It's not going to go above Thursday's high. It's not going to go below Thursday's low. And it's going to attack that 38.64. And like gangbusters, delivered beautifully. And good old ICT was right there to scoop up on it. recorded it, showed you the whole logic and how to trust when you're in. I get this question all the time. How can you trust holding on to your trade? Well, apply what I just went through with Friday's trading. 3864 was a hard level. That was something that I brought everyone's attention to, and it's drawn on the chart well before any real reference to it. It's there. Those are the levels. Anytime I have a level on my chart, we are extending them in time. Extend them in time. To when? The next trading session. We were together in the morning, and then the afternoon's going to be trading, right? We still had trading hours. I just said, close your charts, enjoy the rest of the day.